Okay, so now this is the admin that I built in Replit. You could see here you have the ability to add a new link. And then I even have a way to select the icon. And so we'll add that. And then it's being added over here. And you could even drag and drop the order. And now let's go view our link in bio site. And you can see Reddit has been added.
Nomaditsu.
Hey guys, so today I want to talk about how I cloned a $1.3 billion product with AI and no code, and how you can do it too. And I swear it's not clickbait. I really did my best to make sure it's not clickbait, and I want you to decide at the end of the video, did I deliver on this promise or not? Oh, and before we start, you'll notice that this slide over here looks like an Instagram post. That's because I want to be posting to Instagram more often, and I'll probably post some things that you won't see on the YouTube channel. So definitely go give me a follow on Instagram if you're interested in AI stuff in your Insta feed. So let's continue. And if we haven't met already, I'm Ray, digital nomad from Toronto, now in Thailand. I've traveled to over 30 countries. I love AI, personal development, and Thai food, delicious Thai food. In my past life, I was a UX director and product designer at top Canadian tech companies such as Shopify, BitBuy, Wattpad, Tunnelbear, and more. And my mission is to help you unlock the power of AI. Now let's get into the core of the story. A few weeks ago, Replit introduced a brand new paradigm in no-code development, which is called Replit Agent. And it's this AI agent that could not only deliver code for you, that could not only allow you to preview the code, but it actually allows you to ship a final product. And when I heard this, I was like, I need to try this and I need to do a story about it. And I waited until I finished a complete project, and that's why it took so long to do this video. So let's see how they launched this product with the CEO's tweet. Ahmad says, AI is incredible at writing code, but that is not enough to create software. You need to set up a dev environment. You need to install packages. You need to set up the database. And if lucky, then you deploy. And it's time to automate all this. So why is this a big deal? I thought we already had great AI code tools. Well, as I see it, there's 3 levels of code tools for AI code tools. And that is level 1, there's code generators where they give you the code, but you have to have some level of expertise in making it work and implementing it. And some examples of that is like ChatGPT, Cursor, GitHub Copilot. You still have to have some level of expertise. Now, with the second level, there's code previewers, and that's where you get code and you get to preview it in an interactive demo right away. And that was the huge innovation that Claude Artifacts brought, and I did a whole video on it, so definitely check it out if you haven't already, or if you just want a refresher. And the Claude Artifact was revolutionary because now you could play with the code that you asked for immediately. You don't have to put it into a different environment. And now at the third level, we have Replit with the Replit agent, and you could get a fully functional product that you could launch just from prompting, and you could actually monetize it. And that is what is amazing. Now, to help us wrap our heads around it, and how I wrap my head around it for these 3 levels is, in the first level, it's kind of like the code generators are giving you all the blueprints and materials to build a home, right? They give you everything you need, but you still have to have some expertise to put it all together. In the next level, it's kind of like going to an IKEA showroom. Like, they give you the showroom of like a IKEA bedroom, and it, you could lie down on the bed and it looks like a real bedroom, but don't use the toilet because there's no plumbing yet.
Come on, flush, you bastard.
There's some things don't fully work, and that's where level 3 comes in, and it's pretty much giving you a move-in ready house, and you could actually use the toilet there.
Do not go in there. Woo!
Yeah, sorry for the graphic example, but that's the best I could come up with. All right, now let's talk about Claude Artifacts versus Replit Agent, because when Claude Artifacts came out, I was blown away and I thought this is revolutionary. And Replit Agent sounds like it's about the same thing, but how much better is it? So I went to investigate. Is it just a little bit better, or is it like a mountain better? Let's find out. So again, I did a Claude artifacts video if you want a refresher on that. Okay, so we got 10 things Claude artifacts can do. These are the top 10 things that it could do, which is create interactive web pages, make SVG images. You could build simple games. Some of them look pretty complex actually, with like, a Doom style 3D game. You could create markdown documents. You could do real-time editing. You could do content sharing. You could allow people to remix what you shared. You can have responsive web layouts. You can have dynamic content that's separate from the chat. That was a big paradigm shift. And then there's create data dashboards. So already this sounds amazing, right? How much better can Replit agent be? Well, we find out. So here's top 10 things Claude artifacts can't do, but Replit can do. You could do secure user authentication. So you could actually have people have accounts on your artifact, not your artifact, on the thing that you built. You could have databases. You could have external APIs. You could process payments. You could persist data between sessions, right? So, if you made a game in Claude artifacts, if you come back to it in a different session, it won't memorize the game. It won't allow you to continue. Here, you could have those sessions where it saves your progress. And then there's server-side processing instead of just in the browser. You have complex search functionality. You have large-scale data analytics, secure info storage, high traffic loads. So how much better is Replit? It is the difference between a toy and a fully functional product that you could build a business with. So in summary, Replit is more powerful. With Replit Agent, this is the first time we can literally go from prompt to a fully functional product. So I knew I had to try it. Claude Artifacts was amazing, but you can only take it so far. And now you could create fully functional products. As I was evaluating Replit, I had to think, is it a good deal? Should I go for the monthly or the yearly right now? So I had to evaluate, how much does it cost? What's included? How does it compare to other things at that value? So how much does it cost? At the time of launch, they had this kind of like early bird deal where you got 60% off at $120 per year. Now it's a little bit more expensive at 40% off at $180 per year. So I wanted to help provide a benchmark of like, how good of a deal is this? So I looked at what are the things that you could actually build with Replit Agent and how much do those things cost? So here you could do stock analysis. You could do a waitlist website where if you're launching a product and you want to collect emails, you could build that product here. You could do a link in bio site. And this was really pertinent to my situation where I needed a new website, and a simple link in bio site would be awesome. And then also wanted a AI chat bot. I wanted to create my own, and this lets you do that. So I thought these alone, if I could do that, that would justify the cost of the subscription cost, and I'd be learning about the cutting edge of no-code development. So now let's find out, how does this compare to what you would pay individually for each of these products? And in my research, I found that for a link in bio website, for the paid plan, it could average around $160 per year. And then for a waitlist page, couldn't believe this, but just for a simple waitlist page where you just collect emails, the average was like $400 per year. And then for businesses wanting a custom AI chatbot, it was like $9,000 a year. So definitely, if we take the time to build these things for ourselves and we actually need them, this would be an amazing value. So in conclusion, yes, this is a good deal. So I signed up for Replit Core, which gives me access to the Replit agent. And now it was time to start my first project, and I chose a link in bio project. And that's because I needed a new website. And to do this, I researched what is the top link in bio company, just out of curiosity. And I wanted to see what it looked like, and maybe I could build something like that. And in my research, I found out that it was Linktree. You probably heard about it. Now, Linktree has all of these celebrity users. We have Selena Gomez, The Rock, Jamie Oliver, and Steph Curry, and all of these big brands. So it's no wonder they're the top link in bio website. And if you're not familiar with it, you'll see it in a lot of profiles where you see like Linktree / the username. And here we have Selena Gomez's Instagram. And this is what it looks like when you click on it. And what's amazing is it's just such a simple website. And somebody who knows basic HTML could probably code this up in a few hours, honestly. So that made me think like, man, this is the top company. So as I did more research on Linktree, I made a shocking discovery. Linktree was valued at $1.3 billion in 2022. And that just blew my mind. I was like, man, look at this product. It's so simple, and yet it's worth that much money. So it just made me think, oh my God, this big things are possible. If we could build the equivalent of Linktree in Replit, this would just be huge. It opens up the possibilities of what we could do, what we could build. So I want you to keep that in mind as we go forward. Now, what makes Linktree worth $1.3 billion? The core value of Linktree is it has everything you are in one simple link in bio. So essentially, they allow you to manage your links, they allow you to edit your bio, and they let you do it on the go with no technical knowledge. And it's super easy to do. So I thought, if I could deliver on these core values in my prototype, then I have delivered on the majority of the value of this product. And it made me think, like, if we could deliver on that core value, shouldn't we be able to claim a fraction of that $1.3 billion market share? And that's what I want you to think about, is like, what's stopping us? If a simple site like this can become worth $1 billion, what's stopping us from doing the same? Okay, so let's get into what I actually built. And I'm just going to give you a preview here, and I want you to do a Coca-Cola taste test here. One of these is built on a $1.3 billion product. The other one was built in a few prompts. Can you guess which is which from here? Take a pause if you need a little bit more time. But yeah, guess which one. You made your guess, and let's see. On the left is Linktree. On the right is what I built in Replit. And now let's go to the full demo. So first, actually, I want to show you what Linktree's product looks like. And I want to show you the basic functions. And then I'm going to show you what I built. And I want you to think about, like, how much different are they? So you have here in Linktree the main links page, and then you have a preview over here, and you have where you can update your bio information, right? So let's do the basic functions of this site where you could add a link. So let's add a link. I haven't added Reddit to this yet, so let's add that. Okay, so I'm going to paste in my Reddit. Okay, and then it adds Reddit. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, it has Reddit up here. So I'm going to edit this and just say Reddit. And then I'm going to add a thumbnail icon, right? So now we see it updating here. Okay, so now I'm going to rearrange, because that's one of the core features, is can I manage the links and the order easily? So I'm going to, actually, let's put Reddit at the bottom. Actually, let's put it right above Buy Me a Coffee. And there you go. So Reddit is right here. Okay, so now let's preview it. This is what it looks like live. Now I'm going to show you what I built in Replit. Okay, so this is what I built in Replit, and it's actually my live website right now. So if you go to nomaditsu.com, this is what you're going to find, and it's fully functional. So you can play around with it and try it. But the core value is not just this page, because yeah, anybody could code this up with some basic HTML knowledge, but what's not easy is the admin. Okay, so now this is the admin that I built in Replit. And you could see here you have the ability to add a new link. And so I'm going to add Reddit, and I'm going to, and actually I need to paste the link in here, and then I'll put Reddit. And then I even have a way to select the icon. And so we'll add that. You see a success message, and then it's being added over here. And you could even drag and drop the order. And now let's go view our link in bio site, and you can see Reddit has been added. So we just created a fully functional version of Linktree. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit more of what I built. Also in here, right, so you have the ability to edit these links, and you can remove the link, you could delete it, you could save it for later. You could also update your profile. So you could change the image, you could change the name of the profile, you could add to the bio, right? So let's save that, and then let's view it live. So if you went to my website right now, while I'm doing this, I'm recording, you'll see this, but I'm gonna change it back. So I'm gonna change that back and save. Okay. And now we check it again and it's updated. And now I'll also show you, I have a settings section where you could actually change your password and you could log out. And so this is what the logged out view looks like. So there's actually a login page and nobody can just log in with any credentials. It actually functions. So yeah, I want you to think about that. We just built a fully functional version of Linktree and it looks nice. You know, if I go further with this, I could continue to prompt it to look closer and closer to what the full Linktree website looks like. Oh, and one more major thing that I forgot to show you is that I made this responsive. So when you go to a narrow breakpoint, it actually has a mobile responsive nav, and you could still access everything in the same way. And that is pretty damn cool, if you ask me. It's fully responsive. And that did take some extra prompting. So yeah, I just had to show that this thing is legit a great experience, especially going from just prompting to a full product. Okay, so now I wanted to show you what this looks like in the actual Replit interface. So over here you have the files pane. In the middle, you have the web view. And then on the right, you have the AI chat. And this middle view, you also have all of these different tabs, which are different views of different features. So you have deployments is important, where this is where you actually launch the thing that you built. And you can see here that I have a lot of launches. And another cool thing is you could see all of the tasks that I had to do from the very beginning to where I'm at now. And you could see that it took 49 prompts to get to where I'm at. And something to know though is that it took way more than 49 prompts to get to this state. I had to probably do maybe over 100. That's because it's not perfect. It does loop sometimes. It does get stuck on certain problems sometimes, and you have to use this feature like roll back. So for example, if we tried to add a feature and it messes up the product, then you have this save point that you could roll back to, and I've had to use that several times. This is still an early product, so you know, I know it's only going to get better as we go along, but that is why it is not just 49 prompts that it took me. It did take a lot more work than that. So let me give you a preview of what it's like to start the project from scratch. Okay, so this is the homepage for Replit Agent, and I'm going to show you what it's like to start the project from scratch from for example, from this prompt sample. And I actually didn't use this. I just used my own prompts, but let's see what it looks like just to give you an idea of how magical the experience is. Okay, so it pre-fills it with this. Make a link in bio app which presents all my social accounts in an easy, intuitive, and aesthetic interface. Use a random image for the profile picture placeholder for now. And you'll notice that they didn't mention anything about the admin. It just builds the front end. That's where my project took it to the next level. So let's hit the start building, and so you could see what it looks like to start a project from scratch. And I really love this. It starts off with just this chat interface. It kind of feels like, to me, like the Big Bang for some reason. It's like, you know, in the beginning, there was the prompt. And here you go. So first, it kind of tells you what its plan is. So I'm working on a plan to create a link in bio website with Flask and Vanilla.js and featuring a random placeholder, blah, blah, blah. And then we have, it always does this. It always asks if you want some additional things. And I learned that sometimes it's better to just do the minimal at the beginning and then add in extra steps later. So I'm going to keep it at the basic level before we add any of this extra stuff. You know, this is probably going to improve and it's going to be able to accept more complex things at the beginning, but let's start off with a simple one. So here you go. I love this interface where it's showing you coding it. It's creating new files real time. And you can learn how to make a website or how to program just by seeing all the different pieces involved. So yeah, you could see the new files being created. You could see warnings. It's talking to itself, debugging. And here you go. This is what it can start with. Mine looked different when I started, but yeah, like you could click on that, you could see where it goes. Okay. So that's how it looks like to go from prompt to a basic prototype, or you could actually launch this. And you'll see like this was the first step. So you could see now what it takes to go from prompt to the first version. And here it confirms, you know, if you could see all the things. I'll say the profile picture shows a broken link. And so now it's reviewing the instructions and it confirms that it knows what the problem is. It's going to look into it. It's telling you what it's changing. And if you go into the Progress tab, you could see what is actually happening. Okay, so it actually fixed it. I was worried there that it wasn't going to come through because I saw the broken link, but it actually fixed it. And now you see it has a save point. We could roll back here. So if we keep prompting and it screws up, we could roll back to a save point, just like a save game, and go to the last part where it was actually fixed. And now you see this new button, deploy, and I'm going to deploy this, and you could see I'll just pick the default, reserve VM, or actually I'll pick static. I haven't tried that yet. Let's see what happens. And let's hit deploy. Okay, public directory. So I just use the same name as the subdomain. Okay, so it broke. Maybe I'll just use the regular deploy. Okay, so I should probably have changed this to... Okay, that didn't work. Okay, I broke it. I don't know how to fix it right now. I should have just stuck with the default, this one originally, and I don't have time to fix this. So this is just to show you that things can go wrong and it's not perfect yet. And especially if you're a no coder like me, I could get blocked. Luckily, you do have the AI to ask questions. But that segues nicely into the pros and cons of using Replit. Okay, so what are the pros and cons of using Replit so far from what I've learned on my first full project? So, Replit Pros. No coders can really build legit products. The project start experience is magical. It's really cool to see your idea go from just an idea all the way to all the files being built and then seeing it functioning and going live. The UI is pretty straightforward after you get some time with it and you familiarize yourself with it, considering how much it can do. And you actually have unlimited use of the non-agent AI. What I mean by that is, okay, this is a pro tip that took me a while to figure out, but you have limitations in using this agent AI, but there's a second AI that's hidden over here. And when you talk to this AI without using the Replit agent, you get unlimited use of this AI. And it actually allows you to choose Claude Sonnet 3.5, but I found better performance on the advanced for now with GPT 4.0. I think it's just more tailored to Replit currently, and that's why it has the beta flag on it. And it also has one-click deploy. So yeah, these are some amazing Replit pros. Now, cons. Replit is not perfect yet. The Replit agent is not perfect. The agent can be slow, okay? It could take a long time to generate the code to implement your change. Another big one is you have to stop working when you hit the quota. So they've been increasing the quota, but after you run out, you have to stop for 2 to 3 hours, usually 3 hours before you can use it again. The agent can sometimes get stuck on a problem and burn up your quota, and you'd have to roll back to a previous save point. And it also gets slower the bigger the project, I noticed. Also, there are some hidden costs or costs that I wasn't aware of. After you keep using the Replit agent, or the more you work on the project, it seems to burn up some compute cycles that I'm not sure what they are, and it's causing some extra charges. It's very minimal right now, but I'll find out at the next billing cycle how much it has cost me. And the AI agent can sometimes make random changes that you didn't ask for. So sometimes it'll add icons that I didn't ask for, or when I do a few changes down the line, it'll implement some of the old changes that I asked for it not to do, or I rolled back to avoid. Also, the agent doesn't seem to be able to accept multiple complex instructions at the same time. It's better if you ask for one thing at a time. So for example, if you have a bunch of UI changes you want to make, it will probably screw that up. It's better to ask for like one thing at a time. But that also uses up your quota a lot faster. The UI can break in some cases. I've reported this to Replit, so hopefully they address it. But once you have you've done 50 steps of changes, it sometimes makes it so that the chat interface is unusable, or you can't access some of the previous chat. And also another thing is, once your project is pretty mature, you've made a lot of changes, if you want to make a foundational change, it's pretty hard to do down the line. And they'll probably improve upon this, but that's the problem that I've encountered so far. But in summary, overall, I can say that Replit agent is like magic. Okay, it's like going from literal just talking to to the AI to having something that is fully functional exactly as you wanted it. And I haven't seen this before. It's very cool. So I want to go back to that question I asked earlier. What's stopping us? I want you to think about if we can create a site as simple as Linktree, and that site could become as valuable as $1 billion. What's stopping us from doing the same or something similar, or even a fraction of that? So that concludes this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to give a like, a subscribe, a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you built anything with Replit? Does this inspire you to build something with Replit? Let me know. And I will see you in the next one.
Nomaditsu.